IDOS.
Yeah, Sound Blaster 24-bit. Who remembers that? Welcome everybody to the first pilot episode of Retro Viking, and today we are looking at Thief Deadly Shadows from 2004 on the PC, of course, running the sneaky upgrade patch, which just drags it into the 21st century, kicking and screaming, but certainly makes a massive difference in terms of running it on newer hardware and getting it to look somewhat decent. So I thought I'd just leave the intro running first. Excuse me. Pretty interesting opening cinematic. You can see there, it's flashbacking, if that is a word. It is now. To the first and second games. What I'll probably do is put a screenshot up now of the two original games in their glorious big boxes. And yeah. All about a thief, set in a, obviously, it's about a thief. Set in the sort of makeshift medieval England with Canadian accents and a kind of steampunk vibe. So as a Brit, I find this hilarious. But at the same time, I don't think it's trying to be in any way, shape or form historically accurate. It's just about picking an interesting period in time and really doing their own thing with it. So as you can see, 1920 by 1080 settings pretty much on max. And this is a very dark game, guys, so what I had to do, guys and gals, what I had to do was, in post, I had to sort the brightness out by using some of the tools in Camtasia. So, apologies in this pilot episode for the gamma and brightness settings. I'll certainly try to look at that in the next episode.
I got a tip
so here we go.
from
Here's some backstory.
Perry. A nobleman named Lord Julian had some sort of quarrel and showed up at a local inn well after nightfall and in a foul mood. He's carrying a velvet bag about the size of a man's fist, and it never leaves his sight. Sounds likely to be valuable. I'll know for sure when I steal it from him. Perry sent over a floor plan of the place, the Blue Heron Inn. Finding his lordship won't be hard. His room number will be in the guest register, if I can get to the front desk to read it. The inn will have guards, but not as many as a private estate. That should make things easy, which is one of the reasons I'm willing to try it without knowing for sure what the take will be. Lord Julian is so protective of that bag. There's got to be something of value in it.
Okay, so break into the pub. Oh, we gotta go hard. Let's go hard. That could be taken in more than one way. Nobody wants to be taken hard, but they do like to play on the hard. Yeah. Yeah, so break into the pub, nick Lord Julian's purse. They don't really give you much to start with, but then it is just a training mission. So we can have a bit of fun with this. Where's my loading screen gone? There it is. So you start outside the pub, and you've got to stick to the shadows. You see in the centre lower part of the screen, you've got a compass, and that is your light gem, I believe. Now you can see it's dark at the moment because I'm sticking to the shadows. Ah, there we go. So if you do go into the light, the gem will get brighter. Pretty straightforward. I'll just lean up against this wall as one of the guards is behind that wall. I'm just having a wonder. There he is. I think you need a coffee, mate. Which is incidentally what I have with me now. So yeah, I love the mechanic of leaning against the wall. You didn't have this or the third-person view in the first two Thief games. Now this game doesn't get enough love, I don't think, by a lot of the Thief purists out there. They tried to be different. They were different in this game, the developers, I mean. I think they just took the stealth mechanic and the graphics and turned it up a few notches. And in my opinion, they were successful. But it's often baffled me a bit why this game, compared to the other two that preceded it, gets looked down upon slightly. I'm not sure why. I really liked this one. Wouldn't be making a video of it if I didn't. And I definitely didn't play it looking this good back in 2004, 2005. Can't even remember what kind of PC I had at the time. None of my PCs have ever been particularly fantastic. So that's probably why making retro video game reviews is quite cool, because now today in 2019 I have the hardware, we have the technology to run these older games, you know, in the max display settings that I couldn't have done when they were initially released. And in this particular case too, with some software updates, some mods.
Lord Julian. Wouldn't do to have anyone think he was just Julian.
And the voice acting of Garrett is absolutely spot on. You might recognise that voice from Skyrim. Mercer Frey, I think he's called. It's the same voice actor whose name escapes me. I'll put a caption up on the screen now. Brilliant voice actor. And they didn't invite him back for the Thief reboot, which I thought was a massive mistake, and probably one of the contributing reasons why the Thief reboot game just didn't hit home, unfortunately. It was good, but I think it takes fourth place out of all the Thief games. You could probably argue that the further back you go with the Thief games, the better they were. The original is really fantastic and very hard to beat that, I would say. So yeah, the blackjack, it's like a sort of miniature little club that you can just knock the guys out with. You can even pick up the unconscious bodies and hide them in the darkness. So I'm just looking around, trying to find stuff to steal, because I have to get a certain quota when it's on hard. I think it's 60%, so can't afford to miss too many items. There we go, 60% loot. Tremendous. We'll just close that up. And the ambient sort of music in this first level really reminds me of Resident Evil 1 when you're in the early stages of being in the mansion, so pretty much straight after you start as well. You've got this really great foreboding ambient music in the background. You know, one false move and you'll be exposed and outgunned, really, or outsworded in this case, as there is no firearms. So there's the purse. And they're sat in front of the fireplace, and I've got to nick that purse. Just for the American audience, nicking is stealing. It's British slang, and I think Australian slang as well. I think the Australians and the Kiwis, New Zealand, I believe they say it as well. Someone's got a cold.
I can help you. I know the castle.
Well, you're a cook. What could you know?
Every evening after sunset, the supply wagon comes through that gate and into the courtyard. And no one looks twice. Arrange for your men to be inside one
Yeah,
evening.
I mean, although it's a training mission,
Cut our way through. Five
you
good
can
men
really
against
mess
20,
this up
and
if
my
you're not careful.
accursed cousin.
My lord, listen. There is a passage leading into the castle from the courtyard. I can open it for you when you give me the signal. The torch in the lion's head sconce. You must put it out.
The lion's head torch.
Yes.
My pouch. It's gone. Stolen.
Okay, so stolen the pouch, and we're near the end of the level now. Just got to slip out the back.
My word. What was that sound?
Now, what the two guys by the fireplace were talking about earlier, putting out a torch, wait for the signal, that's kind of a setup for the next level.
Once I find you,
So there's a bit more story in this, I would have said, or rather just as much story as the first two games.
Now that we're looking,
Um,
I'm not as sure.
Oh, look at that face. Hey, buddy. Cheers.
After this, I'll definitely need an extra pill too.
I'm not sure they would have had pills at this point. I don't think medical science was that far advanced. But who knows? In this universe where history doesn't apply, or at least any kind of
Good to see you
historical
doing your job.
accuracy. But that's all the more reason to like the game. We don't fire up games on our computers to have a history lesson. We fire up games to be entertained. Just got to sneak past this guy.
Close one. But I've still got
Yeah,
the
I've
goods.
still got the goods. Love the lockpicking in Thief Deadly Shadows. Using both hands and compared to, say, the Bethesda games where it's the same lockpicking sort of texture and method that they just cut and paste from each game from one to the next. I think Thief Deadly Shadow from 2004, the lock picking looked better and felt better. Just let that sink in, guys. You know, some of these older games are really fantastic, and Thief Deadly Shadows I personally think is one of them, and I'd like to do more videos on Thief Deadly Shadows, just going through the levels, audio commentary, and for your viewing pleasure, or not, as the case may be. We'll see how well this video does. And I'll try to do a bit more research and get a bit more humour into these videos, providing you guys want to watch more of them. I might just do it anyway. I like the game. And when you look on Google, 97% liked this video game. That's not bad, is it? 97%. And so cheap now to get. I'm actually playing from a physical copy. PC Gamer re-release of Thief Deadly Shadows. Would quite like to have the original sort of small box, but you know, money. Are you gonna go back round there? Cheers, fella. Alright. Stick to the shadows, avoid the light. You're about to end the mission. Do you want to continue? Yes.
Nothing like mixing in society, especially if it comes with good loot. The velvet bag turned out to hold a bronze medallion stamped with a griffin. Valuable enough, but more interesting was the conversation I overheard between Lord Julian and the cook. Especially the part about a huge opal and a conspiracy for stealing it. I'd hate to have anyone but me get a stone like that. But I need a better idea where to start looking. If I show the medallion to my fence, I'm sure he'll know more. Heartless Perry always does.
Heartless Perry always does. Yeah, so I can fully appreciate if this is your first time seeing a Thief game, let alone a playthrough or any kind of like YouTube video. The story is probably just like, what are they talking about? And I kind of half understand it.
I had my fence take a look at Lord Julian's medallion. Perry says the crest belongs to the Rutherfords, one of the oldest so-called great families, with a castle in South Quarter and a street named after them. They've got a lot of wealth and a nasty reputation for turning on each other. Based on that conversation I overheard, Julian is definitely carrying on the family tradition. Lord Ember, Julian's cousin, currently resides in the castle, and Julian wants revenge. Julian had a good plan. Hide inside a supply cart and ride in after dark, then signal the cook to open the side door by putting out the lion's head torch in the courtyard. A good enough plan for me.
So these were the two guys by the fireplace,
that
what they were talking about earlier.
Sounds valuable, and it's better off with me than sitting around in their vault.
Sorry for
I
my
can't
creaky
get
seat,
lazy.
guys.
Ember will have his personal guard, and doubtless a few other family tricks in store for anyone who comes after the opal.
Okay, so this is the objectives for Mission 2, which I'm going to feature in my next video. Let's go hard, guys. We've got to go hard again. Since when did going soft get anybody anywhere? I'm just rolling myself a nice cigarette. Goes well with the coffee. There we go, we've got some more FMV. Full motion video. Foreboding. Ah, fonts. He's smelling fonts. Smell those fonts. Your fonts are changing. Your windings font is changing. Whispering. I'd get out of there if I were you, mate. He's like, screw this. I'll put that in my drawer. Nothing like a black screen. I could have edited that out, but laziness. Sheer laziness. And that was my stomach.
There's the now to give the
Well, thanks for watching, guys. This has been fun. I'd like to do another video. And I hope you join me next time.